Hello everyone, good morning and welcome to the May 2nd, 2024 edition of 10 with Ben, your morning 10 minutes with me, your guy Ben K, where we are going to talk about what's going on in the sports world, what's going on in the sports world that matters to me. But first, we start with the baseball reference, Immaculate Grid. Today's grid is an interesting one. And I say interesting because here in this final row of categories is played in the Negro Leagues as well as in the majors, right? So today's categories on the 9-square grid: Hall of Famer with a 10-homer season, a pitcher with a 10-win season, and a Hall of Famer with a 300 career average. Then we take the 10-homer season category. Beyond Hall of Famer, we have an All-Star with a 10-homer season, and a player with a 10-homer season that played in the majors and Negro Leagues. The same categories for a pitcher with a 10-win season and player with a 300 career average. We have 9 guesses. Cannot use the same player twice. Want to try to get the lowest rarity score possible to show our elite expertise in the history of baseball. So we'll start with the first category of 10-homer season and a Hall of Famer. Probably most hitters in the Hall of Fame would qualify for this. I would think a rarity score would be a light hitting guy who's in the Hall of Fame. Ozzie Smith comes to mind, but I don't think that he had a 10-homer season. So the next thing to do would be to think about maybe some Veterans Committee Hall of Famers that went after. Oh, you know what? I'm going to go with Ted Simmons. All right, we're going to work our way down. A Hall of Famer with a 10-win season. This is another one here where most starting pitchers in the Hall of Fame are going to have that. So I want to think about maybe relief pitchers that may have been starters or that were relievers at a time where they went 3, 4, 5 innings and could pick up a win. Eckersley comes to mind, but he was a star. You know what? Let's go with Goose Gossage, which I believe they'll put here as Rich Gossage. Yes. Okay. Hall of Famer with a 300 career average. Obviously, the easy guesses are Tony Gwynn and Wade Boggs, those type of guys. I'm going to go with Kirby Puckett. By the way, it was always a great go-to for Hall of Famers in offensive categories. See that 1%? Nobody ever guesses Kirby. So making our way over to 10-homer season and an All-Star. As you know, every year each team has to have a representative. So we'll go with an obscure guy. My guy from the 90s for the Red Sox, Scott Cooper. Or I could have gone Shea Hillenbrand there, but I'm going to go Scott Cooper. Yes. 10-win season, who was an All-Star. I'm also going to stick with former Red Sox. I don't know if you have to have a 10-win season in the same season. Well, I guess it would make sense that you were an All-Star. I'm going to go with Aaron Selle. All right, yeah, we got it. Okay. And then a 300 career average, who was an All-Star. Nomar comes to mind. All right, I got it. We're going to go John Kruk. All right, okay. So now we get into a tough one, this Negro Leaguers category. I got to be honest with you. My Negro League knowledge is not vast, so a lot of these answers will probably be obvious. A 10-homer season, who played in the majors and the Negro Leagues. Roy Campanella, what are the Willie Mays? But those are big ones. Let me think. I'm gonna come back to that one because I know an answer here. A 10-win season, who played in the major leagues. I'm gonna go with Dodgers pitcher Don Newcomb. 12% of the people were thinking what I was thinking. And a 300 career average, who played in the Negro Leagues. Definitely Willie Mays, but I don't know if Jackie Robinson did. Campanella probably. Oh, Monty Irvin. Yes. Okay. So 10-homer season, played in the Negro Leagues. I think about those early Dodger teams that had Jackie and Don Newcomb and Roy Campanella. Jim Gillum. Okay, we went Immaculate. We went 9 for 9. Our rarity score is 20, so not single digits, but not high double digits. Let's see here the results. 0.4 of the people selected Ted Simmons in the 10 Homer Hall of Fame category. 1% took Goose Gossage in the 10-win season Hall of Famer, and 1% took Kirby Puckett in the 300 career average for Hall of Famers. 0.5% took Scott Cooper as a 10-homer guy who was an all-star. 0.2% took Aaron Selle as a 10-win guy who was an all-star, and 2% were with John Kruk as a all-star with a 300 career average. In the Negro Leagues, only 0.3 of the people took Jim Gillum as a 10-homer season Negro League guy. 11%, which was our most common guess, chose Don Newcomb in the 10-win season, and 2% went with Monty Irvin with a 300 career average who played in the Negro Leagues. So that will wrap it up for today's Immaculate Grid. Let me see if I can figure out. Okay, sorry, trying to figure out how to do this. We'll keep the Immaculate Grid up in the upper corner for you to look at as I go on with the final 3.5 minutes of today's 10 with Ben. And what we are going to talk about today is the 2024 Boston Red Sox. I know, you thought I was probably going to talk about the Miami Heat getting eliminated last night from the playoffs. That's another story. That's an off-season story. That's something where we'll talk about how to shake that team up. What I want to talk to you about today is the 2024 Boston Red Sox. They enter play today against the San Francisco Giants with the chance to sweep the 3-game series. They are 18-13, 5 games over 500 on May 2nd. This is a team that came into the season with minimal expectations. Back-to-back last place finishes in the AL East. No major moves really in the offseason. Their most major move, starting pitcher Lucas Giolito, goes down with Tommy John a week into spring training. Their other big move, trading Chris Sale for Vaughn Grissom. Vaughn Grissom yet to make his debut with the Red Sox, a hamstring injury, now the flu. They came in with, on paper, what looked like the worst starting pitching in all of baseball. No truly defined number 1 or even number 2 starter. Brian Bayo, entering his second full season, signed an extension with him late into spring training or early into the season. A number 3 pitcher by all measures was to be our ace. He is on the DL with 3/5 of our opening day starting rotation. Garrett Whitlock and Nick Pivetta join him. In the IL. But the starting pitching ERA is the lowest in Major League Baseball by a noticeable margin. Breakout seasons coming from Cutter Crawford and Tanner Houck. They're piecing it together along the way with the rest of the rotation. Bright spots in the bullpen with Rule 5 pick Justin Slayton, especially, and that offense. Man, let me tell you something. They were hit hard with injuries on the offense, too. Young stud first baseman Tristan Cassis out till the All-Star break with a rib injury. Trevor Story, who was playing an amazing shortstop, waiting for the bat to come around, out for the year, making a diving catch. They've dealt with Tyler O'Neill, who has been quite the surprise. Spent time on the IL. Rafi Devers didn't go on the IL, but missed 10 of the first 20 games. But here they are, piecing it together. Expounding on his breakout season last year, Jarren Duran. Anytime that ball gets into the outfield, right, it's an automatic triple. It feels like. Willie Abreu, rookie Willie Abreu, got a little taste last year of a September call-up. He is a cleanup hitter, and the guy gets 3 hits every game. He's playing an amazing outfield. Rafi's bat's starting to come around. Connor Wong, unbelievable. Guys, the Boston Red Sox, not at full strength. 5 games over 500, entering May, on May 2nd, a chance to sweep the San Francisco Giants today. Red Sox Nation, I know that you're pissed off with ownership. I know you're upset. I know that you're drenched in negativity. But it's time to stop. It's time to stop being mad and watch this team. They got a lot of likable guys. They're playing winning baseball, and they're an easy team to get behind, right? We've had Cowboy up and keep the faith and do damage, all these taglines, right? And I think that we need to start calling this 2004 version of the Boston Red Sox the full throttle boys, right? Because hey, that's how they play. They play full throttle, and of course the slight jab at the front office for saying that the off season would be going full throttle and essentially doing nothing. So here are these guys playing their hearts off, having fun out there, not giving up, playing to the final out. Came in with no expectations, and they've surprised everybody, the entire league, including myself. I'm excited for the 2024 Red Sox. I know we've gone a little long here. We're over 10 minutes, so I'm going to wrap it up. We will see you tomorrow on another edition of 10 with Ben.